Stakeholder engagement for investment projects is the model we are considering again, and this will be the model 8B. We took the model 8A, which basically captured the identification of stakeholders in the engagement process. So this time around, we are going to look at disclosure. We're going to look at disclosure and dissemination of information. So the disclosure of relevant project information helps affected communities and other stakeholders to understand the risks, the impacts, the opportunities of the project. So the proponent have to provide affected communities with access to relevant information. So depending actually on the scale of the project and maybe to some extent the significance of the risk and the impact, relevant documents could be arranged or could be provided from a full environmental and impact assessment to stakeholder engagement plan, because the ESIA has to contain the stakeholder engagement plan, the resettlement action plan, a number of plans that have to be put in place in order to have the risks and impacts of the project documented in a very standard fashion. So if you have a stakeholder engagement plan, like we discussed in Module 8A, you have also the resettlement action plans, the biodiversity action plans, in most cases also the ecosystem restoration plans, that's ERP, ecosystem restoration plan. You could have also the community health and safety plans. You could have the emergency preparedness and response plans. In cases where you have hazardous materials to be used, you could have hazardous hazardous materials management plan. So in cases also where indigenous people, for easy to understand the summaries of key issues and commitments, you have indigenous people's development plans, IDPD, is it? Indigenous People's Development Plan, IDPD, yeah. So to easy, these documents actually could also include the client's environmental and social policy and any supplemental measures and actions that can be defined as a result of independent due diligence conducted by the financiers, which can be the IFC or the AFC or the African Development Bank or any of the financiers. It could be AfrExim also. These discussions we're having is actually a generic discussion, but we're using the IFC standard as the standard documents for the webinar, okay? So the clients should also provide affected communities with access to relevant information on the purpose of the project, the nature of the project, the scale of the project, including information related to how it's going to affect them, what land take is required, what specific livelihood is going to be affected. It should be disclosed in a way that is very open, transparent, and without hoarding information from the community. So the duration of the proposed project activities also has to be disclosed. Any risk, like I said, on the community or any impact should be disclosed. Aside, of course, the mitigation measures that should be disclosed to them as well. So the envisaged stakeholder engagement process has to be discussed with the community as well, so that they would know how to prepare, how to participate. In Nigeria, you have to speak local languages to ensure that communities understand what the project is about. You have to get interpreters to ensure effective communication. Okay, and like I have here also, the grievance redress mechanism has to be communicated to them so that the disclosure is complete. Where there are grievances, they know that these grievances are going to be addressed and that nobody will be left out, most especially the vulnerable people, the blind people, the deaf people have to be communicated to in a way that they all understand what the project is about and what the impact is going to be considered. So I'll come again on the stakeholder engagement process next time. And we'll talk next time about the consultations, how to go about the consultations, and how people are going to be participating in the process, and also the grievance redress mechanism. I hope this little clip is useful for you. So do we have any questions to ask so that I